Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Willis Wit and Wisdom. This is episode number 5. I'm Eric Willis,
And I'm Bob Willis.
and we have a couple of guest Willi, with us
Will
this
I?
morning. So, gentlemen, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Go ahead. All right. My name is Gabriel Willis. I'm a senior at Creekview High School, and in the fall, I'll be going to Liberty University. And this is
Josiah Willis. Doesn't look like it, but I'm his older brother. I am in college at Moody Bible Institute, and I just finished my sophomore year, so I'll be going to my junior year this fall.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, guys. These are 2 of the 3 boys that are currently in our home during this coronavirus lockdown. And so our college student from Chicago, we got him moved back home, and our senior in high school are with us today. And, this coronavirus stuff has locked down the world. And Dad and I have been talking about loss and grief and processing that from an adult perspective. And I thought, hey, you guys have lost something too. And along with that loss and this new reality that we're in comes disappointment. And so I just wanted to get your perspective of kind of what's going on in your world.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start in high school, then move on to college. But I think as far as senior year goes, a lot of people look forward to the senior year privileges of prom and just things of that nature, where it's a celebratory, we made it to senior year. It's almost like a rite of passage for seniors. And when you're taken away from that, it's just, I know that the popular belief is that we're missing out. And so that can lead to disappointment, whether it be pointing fingers at who's saying, no, we can't experience these things, or it's at one another saying, I'm disappointed because you guys don't take this seriously, and now we're in lockdown, or it can become a blaming game. But, I think that as far as seniors go, it's more so disappointment in losing the privileges. And in my boat, it's missing a track season. It's missing a last few chances to prove myself and really see how far I could have taken my sport. But I know that this is what the Lord wants, and I can be disappointed in the circumstances, or I can be seeking the Lord and what He has to offer me in this lockdown period. So,
Okay. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your perspective on what's going on, Gabe. Josiah, from a college student, how about you?
Yeah, I think something that I have definitely learned about college is that it's kind of like the culmination of like a coming of age that kind of started in middle school. And the biggest thing for me in college was getting to find my people, like getting to find my friend group and getting to be in that community. And the biggest thing I've learned, especially being at a Bible college, is how important community is for the believer. And so the fact that Christians all around the U.S. and all around the world have had to find a new sense of community has been really hard. And for a lot of people, it can feel really isolating. And that's what I found myself kind of slipping into sometimes. And it's just because I don't have that community that I built up in college with my closest friends. And not having that has been probably the biggest disappointment for me, just not being in that community and being out of a routine that I was in before.
Yeah, good point. So, Dad and I would like to ask you guys a few questions, if you don't mind. Do you mind?
sure.
Okay.
One of the
I have no
things,
choice.
of course, I deal a lot with grief, and what I find out is we actually grieve change. Been a lot of changes in the last few months, and you find yourself going through things like mood changes, and where you might not be able to control thoughts and attitudes and all that as much. We can lose control. And so that's very normal. And I think one of the things that we try to teach people what normal is, and you guys are in a setting where you can do that too among your peers, is kind of realize that what they're going through is very normal. Some of the things they say, some things they do, but assure them that there is a big plan. God's in charge of the big plan, and we don't have all the the end result of it yet, but just hold on day to day. But what are some of the goals that you have, some of the dreams? By the way, I welcome you to the Willis family many years ago. But what happens is Willises are dreamers. And I know you guys are dreamers. So what are your dreams? Gabe and Josiah, we don't have 30 minutes, but what kind of dreams do you have? Okay.
Yeah. Just to clarify, do you mean goals in terms of like right now, or just like looking 5 years down the road?
Yeah, what do you see even in the near future? What are some goals do you have set up?
Yeah. So kind of what Josiah was saying is I'm also going to a Christian university, but that doesn't mean that community is going to come easily. And so I'm looking forward to finding my people, finding my community that's around me, can uplift me, things like that, encourage me, spur me on in my faith. And as far as a tangible goal, I'm not sure that comes into like an action step. I think though that's an end result, and that that would be my goal for the next few years.
That's great. Yeah, I like the idea, the term you guys use of community, finding your people. That's a support system for support for you, but you also are able to support them. That's your community. Yeah. I really like that term. Thank you, guys. Josiah, what do you think?
Yeah. One of my goals is, so this coming year, if we do go back to school, is I'm actually going to be an RA for my floor resident assistant. And so I feel like that's going to be a really big experience for me, just in terms of, for me wanting to go into full-time vocational ministry, being able to be that shepherd on the floor, or minister to guys, 30 plus guys on one floor, being able to be in that role, I'm really excited about, because that's really going to prepare me for ministry. Because I do want to go into some kind of ministry as a pastor later down the road. I know that that's part of my goal. But yeah, I'm really excited for this next year to get to gain that experience for my future ministry.
Great. That's great. By the way, for those who are not aware, RA stands for resident assistants?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to be an RA.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever that is, resident assistant. Yeah, no, that's exciting, guys. Hopes and goals and dreams. And sometimes it's difficult to keep our hopes and goals and dreams in view whenever there's a crisis or a loss. And so how are you guys keeping focus? So thinking about today, how are you putting one foot in front of the other? What's keeping you going?
Nothing.
Okay, there's the Wit and the Willis. Yeah.
That's a Willis.
No, I mean, I feel like I'm losing track of the days. I'm no different than most people in that regard. But as far as motivation, it's actually a pretty tactile, tangible thing to do. But I'm making a to-do list of what I need to get done for the next day. So last night I wrote out a few steps that I want to get through today. And, I don't want to feel forced or feel if I don't get something that I'm letting myself down, but it's more of that extra push to really be involved in today and to live in the moment and not see it as just another day, but to make it a special one for what it is. So,
for me, well, one thing that's helping is I've got a countdown till I see my girlfriend. So that'll be.
Okay. So the truth comes out. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
I have a girlfriend. No, but yeah, we knew that was going to come up. But the real thing that I've been doing that that's helped a lot is I watched a video the other day on and I read an article about memorizing extended passages of scripture and not just limiting yourself to verses that could be taken out of context or anything. And so during this break, I've actually started memorizing the book of Colossians. And so every day it's a new verse and I'm reviewing the old ones. So I've got a little bit over the first chapter memorized. And so I'm working through all 4 chapters of Colossians. And so that's been a good thing that has been consistent. That in tandem with my Bible reading has been just good to be able to keep something that, especially like Bible reading, that like, that's not going to change, you know, like I could be anywhere in the world and that's not going to change for me. So that's been good.
Yeah. And another thing I want to add to that is Josiah has told us family, us Willises, that he's doing that. And so I'm able to ask him how that's going. And so holding that accountability holds him to his word and saying that he will memorize. But it also provides that extra structure to his day, but just helping him to remember his goals.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That tells me that there's intentionality with doing something today that requires something physical, something emotional or mental, and something spiritual. And you're keeping that at the forefront of what's keeping you putting one foot in front of the other in light of the disappointment, in light of kind of where you are in life, and in pursuit of your hopes and goals and dreams. So well done. So we want to give you an opportunity if you have any questions that you wanted to ask Pops or me. Okay, good. So
I had a question for Pops. Is it Pops with 1 O as well?
What's that?
Is it Pops with 1 O? Just like Bob with 1 O?
Just like Bob was 1 O. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, question.
No
I
real
can't follow
question.
that. I don't know.
Thank you,
I'm not gonna
guys.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Willis Wit and Wisdom. And I guess I'll leave with, and Dad, I'll give you an opportunity to say something here in just a minute too. But this concept that disappointment is, you know, the distance between expectation and reality. You know, you expect something, but the reality's here, and in between the two is disappointment. And only one of those two things can change, either our expectations or reality. And oftentimes it's our expectations that we need to crank down a little bit to meet reality, to lessen the disappointment. That doesn't mean that your hopes and goals and dreams and what you're looking for in the future has to be put on the back burner or has to be discarded or canceled. It just means that you need to be creative in how you continue to pursue your hopes and goals and dreams. So don't let disappointment get you stuck in your current reality. Hold on to those hopes and goals and dreams. Dad?
All right. That's good information, Eric. Thank you. And one of the things that without a dream, we're going to perish. Okay. Without a vision, the people perish, Scripture says. So we all need to be dreamers. But like I say, that reality part is really important. That's where we have to live every day in reality, and taking one step in front of the other. But what has been shared here today, I think, is very valuable as far as people that are struggling during this time of the virus. And if we can stay away from the media, I think would be really good. Okay, not get overwhelmed with it, pull away from it, find some time with yourself, with the Lord. I think that's the important thing. Those of you who have questions for us, other than the 2 grandsons that are here, if you have questions for us, you're welcome to send those. You can send them to my email, which is rwillis14@cox.net, rwillis14@cox.net. If you'd like to send a question that Eric and I can address in this Willis Wit Wisdom, love to do that. Eric, how can we contact you?
Yeah, best way to reach me would be to find me on the website reclaimleadership.org, and you can send me an email through that website, reclaimleadership.org. All right, gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. And Dad, good to see you again. The rest of you, please subscribe to the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. Follow us, like us, share it, let people know that we're available to answer questions for you. So until next time, thank you for being with us, and God bless. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.